making him desperate. She said I should consider that he was at a low point. I asked her if she considered that I was also at a low point. I was in a hospital bed. I had almost stopped breathing 12 hours ago, and she was asking me to consider his feelings. She didn't bring it up again. I was discharged 2 days later. Cody didn't call, didn't text, didn't check if I was alive. 3 weeks went by and nothing. Then he called me on a Wednesday like nothing happened and asked if I could help him move a couch into his new apartment. I said, I thought you hoped I stopped breathing. Dead people can't move couches. He went quiet for a moment. Then he laughed. Not because it was funny. That particular laugh Cody does when he wants to signal that the other person is being unreasonable. That short exhale through the nose that means you're taking this too seriously. He said I was being dramatic. He said he had apologized. I pointed out that he had not apologized. He said he was apologizing now. I said what he said in that hospital room was not something you apologize for over the phone 3 weeks later while asking for a favor. He said I was holding a grudge. I said I thought you hoped I stopped breathing. Dead people do not hold grudges either. He hung up. My mother called me 20 minutes later. I did not answer. She left a voicemail asking me to be the bigger person. I saved the voicemail. I do not know why. Maybe because I knew I would need to hear it again sometime to confirm that I had not imagined the version of events where I was in a hospital bed on oxygen, and my family's primary concern was still Cody's feelings. I want to explain something about Cody and the way things had always worked in our family before I explain what happened after the phone call, because the hospital was not the beginning of this. It was just the most visible point, the one so extreme it became impossible for me to keep building explanations around it. Cody is 4 years older than me. When we were kids, I thought he was the coolest person I had ever seen, and I followed him around with the specific devotion that younger brothers have before they understand that admiration is not the same as being valued. By the time I was old enough to see clearly, the dynamic was already set. Cody needed things and people provided them, or they were being difficult. There was no middle ground in his understanding of how relationships worked. You were either useful to him or you were the obstacle. My mother had been managing this his entire life by smoothing things over and making excuses and redirecting whatever frustration she felt into gentle explanations for why Cody was the way he was. His father left when he was 7. He struggled in school. He had a hard time with authority. She had a theory for everything. The theories were not wrong exactly, but she had applied them so consistently and for so long that Cody had learned he would never have to account for anything because there would always be an explanation waiting for him when he got there. The pattern showed up early and it never changed shape. When we were teenagers, he borrowed my things without asking and returned them damaged or not at all, and my mother said, boys will be boys. They share like that. When he wrecked my father's car at 19 and I got blamed for leaving my bike in the driveway because Cody told our parents he had swerved to avoid it, my mother told me to let it go, that I should be glad no one was hurt, that family didn't hold things over each other. When he started calling me for money in my mid-20s, always with a story that positioned the need as temporary and the repayment as certain, my mother would sometimes call me after and say, I hope you were able to help him. He is having a hard time. She never called to ask how I was doing. The calls were always about what Cody needed and whether I had been generous enough in meeting it. I had been generous. For years, I had been generous. Not because I was afraid of him or even because I particularly wanted to. Because I loved my brother and because I had grown up being told that was what you did, and because I had not yet